Good morning. Happy Thursday to you. My name is Evan Smith. I'm the pastor at Second Presbyterian Church here in downtown Stanton, and I'm coming to you today for your daily video devotional. Today we're continuing our look in 1 John, picking up right where we had been, beginning at verse 14 and 15. John writes this. He says, "We know that we have passed from death to life because we love one another. Whoever does not love abides in death. All who hate a brother or sister are murderers, and you know that murderers do not have eternal life abiding in them." Gosh, that's so big. So we know that we have passed from death to life because we love one another. That's how big this idea of love is to John. That it's literally this transition from being in a state of decay, a state of death, into a state of life. But the thing that resonated with me so much, he talks about how those who don't love, they abide in death. We don't use the word abide very much, but you know what it means. It means to live in, to dwell in. It's this state of just being just in it, like in this. I keep thinking about it, this idea of abiding in death, like stuck in the mire, stuck in the clay, like this just stickiness that you can't get out of. You know, it's been said that we are, our personalities, who we are as people, is the combination of the average, rather, of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So if you spend your time with negative people over time, no matter what, you're going to become a more negative-oriented person. And that's just this law of averages kind of thing. And I wonder if emotions can play that way too. If we spend the most of our time focused in negative emotions, focused in our anger and our self-pity, and our feelings of guilt, whatever the negative emotions are, if eventually it has this way of dulling our hearts to the point that they're not hearts that are filled with love, but hearts that are filled with these negative emotions, and it takes us from the state of life over instead into a state of death. And John's already said earlier that hating a brother or sister, it's like murder to them. And now he's saying murderers don't inherit eternal life. And maybe he's talking about those who literally murder other people, but I think he's talking about like the effect it has on one's soul to live in this state of hatred. So if we find that we are experiencing negative emotions, perhaps more than we would like, maybe even more than we should be, like how do we handle that? How do we change? How do we transition? I think some of it always is, at least the awareness of it, taking it to God, seeing what we can do in the midst of it, to be able to say, God, I'm having this, and Lord, please take this from me. Fill me with your love. And then being intentional to say, no, today, I am not going to let my negativity have the last word. I am not going to let my anger towards someone, my lack of forgiveness, whatever it is, I'm going to take all this to God. I'm going to hand this over, and I'm going to ask God to fill my heart with love. And then I think we just choose to do loving things, which is part of what I'll talk about tomorrow as we again talk about this idea of how our actions influence our emotions. But for today, realize that choosing not to handle these things, choosing to stay in this negativity, it's like living in a state of perpetual death. And that's not somewhere anyone wants to be. And that is your word for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please click the like button, maybe even share it on your own page. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, and goodbye.